News First, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
Top of the morning to you. This is Newsline, live almost always from the Newsfirst studios in Dorset Street in Colombo. And yes, it's another wonderful day out there. It's not wet and the sun's coming out. Everyone's going to work and things are looking wonderful. Lovely day. Now then, this morning we've got with us somebody who's been going on about this for the last about 3 years and a bit now. And he's right here with us in the studio. And it's none other than former governor, former chairman of the Bank of Ceylon, Mr. Rusiripala Tennakoon. Very good morning to you, Mr. Rusiripala.
Good morning, Faraz.
I love the combination, the shirt and the tie.
It matches with yours, I don't know.
It does. We'll have to declare that we didn't...
Coincidence.
Yes, it's a pure coincidence.
Yeah.
Pure coincidence.
Yeah.
Now then, unless your butler and I have exchanged a call.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
We'll have to subject our phones to forensic analysis.
Correct.
And
much needed.
Yes. Now that is it looks like that's very much going to be the topic. Forensics and forensics.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Now then, Mr. Rusiripala, I'm a little bit concerned and frustrated, I think, and disappointed, all rolled into one. Disappointed because so much was expected of this good governance team, and for whatever reason, they have not delivered what was expected. Instead, they seem to have gone from one controversy to another, from one departure of process to another departure of process. Along the way, this conflict of interest has been almost a hallmark. It's like a stamp of good governance. And so I'm wondering, Mr. Rusiripala, I see here you've got this voluminous matter, the bond report.
Yes.
And I've got it also here, but I split it into 3 parts, Mr. Rusiripala,
Yeah.
because I want it more easy to handle. But what I've noticed is, in spite of this bond report and various whatever, where's the action? Where's the money?
Yes.
What's happening, Mr. Rusiripala?
Yes, I think you are quite absolutely correct in coming to the conclusion that things are not moving in the right direction, and what the people expected is not happening. There is no sign of any improvement. It's going from bad to worse. I fully endorse that view, because that is exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
But I am not for a moment intrigued or sort of disturbed by it.
Yeah.
Because from the very beginning, if you go back to the days where the episode came to light, and it went through various stages of inquiries, investigations, questionings and debates.
Yes.
Now, during that stage, you could have noticed, if you looked at things very carefully, there were certain proactive measures that should have been taken at that time. And we passed through that stage without those actions being taken, which gave us the idea that whatever the conclusions are going to be, at whatever level, nothing is going to come out of it. Of course,
yes.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
I know, over several hours of conversations that we've had, you've always made that point.
Yeah. Just imagine a person who has been found fault in no uncertain terms in the commission, continued to the last date of his assignment in his position without even being sent on compulsory leave. Now, do you think in such a situation that what they are going to do with him or how they are going to dispense with him was a predetermined thing?
Right.
And that's what is exactly happening. He is living happily in Singapore.
Yeah.
We are in courts here issuing warrants,
Yeah.
and the people who are responsible for bringing him and putting him in that position
Yeah.
and fighting to get this extension also
Yeah.
are dead silent.
And my chairman and our board and our management are spending so much of valuable airtime
Yes.
in keeping track of this.
Yeah.
And the country, they have a legitimate expectation
Yeah.
and a right
Yeah.
to know what on earth is happening.
Yes.
Because they can't possibly be going from one thing to another, and the people cannot expect to be paid. Yesterday, the taxes on small cars went up.
Yes.
You know, what is this business?
Yeah.
And whenever the government spots some movement in the economy that's a little bit on the up, like there were more small cars being, you noticed it, there were many more small cars around, right? Now, most of these cars, a lot of cars were being used by people to supplement their income. Did you know, Mr. Rusiripala, I'm sure that when you started your working life, and you were at the bank salon and so on, did you know of your contemporaries, or how many of your contemporaries worked part-time? To me, it's a sign of desperate and challenging times. I was on Facebook, I was noticed that there is a thing called part-time jobs. So, and then I started thinking about it. So now people are doing part-time jobs. So many people are driving as a part-time job to supplement their incomes.
The short and long of it, Faraz, car is no more a luxury today.
No.
In the modern life, with all these technological advancements and the transportation issues and all that, car is an essential commodity a person has to have if he's if he's active in society.
Indeed.
That is the short of it. And the government should recognize the fact that the affordability of cars and the sector that is yearning to have the ownership of a car, all that must be recognized. What is wrong with this government is there is no concerted policy with regard to their taxation, nor with the government's attitude towards various things. They keep on changing. This is like the Melbourne weather. Morning rain, evening sunshine,
Right.
I mean, this is a terrible situation. The finance minister sees something, he comes back to the office and introduces a gazette and then introduces a taxation. This is not a policy of a government. It must be some definite, fixed, in keeping with a plan, accepted. That is how policies are implemented.
Indeed.
In this country, you go to bed, get up, see somebody comes and tells you so many cars on the road, they are too small and many are small, so introduce a tax, you do that.
This is all ad hoc.
Very ad hoc, very much ad hoc. This is what is affecting us in all spheres of economy in this country. That is why the economy has gone haywire in this country. That is why we say those who manage the economy of this country are responsible and they should now retire from that portfolio. You see, they have not done anything positive contributing to the growth of the economy in this country.
Don't you think, Mr. Rusiripala, and not only have you got this finance background, but you have this trade union background, and I know of your passion for politics. Don't in that ambience, with all those three things, don't you think that time has come for the people to, without fear, to come out and jointly take the system on? They have to be chased away.
Exactly, Faraz. You are right on the spot here, because politics in this country has had its day. And people have no faith in the political leaders or the political parties for that matter.
Would you like to say that it is the politicians who have had their that their time is finished now.
No, it's the politicians who lead the parties.
Yes.
Also, I mean, in the association put together,
Yeah.
you know, the people have absolutely no faith in the politicians who lead them, who lead these parties.
Yeah.
What has happened is, today, the people are have to find alternate avenues of voicing their opinions.
I mean, you're absolutely right. When you were saying that, my mind went to the issue of glyphosate and the tea industry. On some whim and fancy and some purported dream of some person representing some religion, some religious personality, on some spurious thought process, they completely messed up the largest export that this country had, a largest export that we can be justifiably proud of.
Yes.
They messed about with that without any scientific or other rational basis.
Yes. And so, that irrationality, very correctly applied, as you say, instead of finding alternates for different products, direct consumers, and then things like tea.
Yeah.
You see, they should have had some application yardsticks.
Yeah.
Here now, tea estate, which is running into thousands of acres, cannot be just manned, to uproot the weed.
Indeed.
There must be some chemical system.
There has to be a system.
There has to be.
Yeah.
So this has been overlooked by these people who just shout.
So this is all about this being ad hoc, because you said ad hoc other things, and this is also ad hoc. Somebody just got up and said, let's do that. No rationale. And yet we are a nation that, I think, apart from Britain, we have the greatest number of chartered accountants.
Yeah.
We are, the figures say that Sri Lanka's intelligence rating is what, about 90%?
Yes.
Right? Now, in spite of all that, isn't it a crying shame that these 225 and others, even in the provincial councils and so on, are not acting in the part and in the manner that the people expect them to?
This is a far-gone conclusion, Faraz.
Yes, no point saying it.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to emphasize or reiterate this situation.
Yeah.
People are living with that conclusion. They are now trying to find out who can voice the opinion of the people. The voice of the people is what is required today.
Yes.
Because these people are deaf and blind.
Yeah.
And they don't regard or give any due regard to the public opinion. They just casually go on.
Yeah.
So therefore it is this callous disregard to public opinion and to ethical behavior of a parliamentarian, of a leader. All these things have frustrated us, the entire society. We are living in frustration. This is what is affecting the country. So therefore, people have to find alternates in the way of finding ways and means of voicing their opinion and eventually chasing this whole lot out.
They have to be chased away.
This is what has to happen in this country.
Indeed. Now, tell me, Mr. Rusiripala, much money, much effort, and the level of detail that was elicited thanks to the Bond Commission is very commendable.
Yes.
But now what? The Commission have come and held on various matters about Arjuna Mandran, that he acted mala fide in the interest of perpetual treasuries and so on. Now, is it enough? Is it enough when Malik Samaravikrama and Ranil Wickremesinghe both have come there out in the open? They have come out and they have said, one said, Tamba Satyak Padua Name Ratata. That was Malik. And Ranil Wickremesinghe, God bless him, dear Ranil, he said, we have got the money in the central bank and no problem. What do you mean? Is that enough? Shall we just leave it at that?
No. These are criminal statements. You know, they are trying to convert a crime to a civil case. by giving these statements. There is a very big meaning behind this. They are not just making these statements. You know, this is a crime that has been committed. The public money has been misused.
Yeah.
Public position has been misused.
Yeah.
And wrong directives have been given for which no one is taking the responsibility.
Yeah.
They're trying to cover up all that,
All of that,
by saying that there is money. You know, it's like raping a woman and you are trying to suggest to marry her when you are charged in courts.
Right.
You know, these people have raped it.
Yes,
they have no way out other than facing a criminal charge. You know, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just see, today we don't need a commission. If there was a proper application of ethical principles, democratic practices, good governance rules,
Yeah.
several people would not be in their positions today.
Yeah.
Including, I say, the board of governors of the central bank, to start with them.
Yeah.
Today, with all this happened with the set of board of governors who were in power, who were in those positions, then are they not there today?
And exactly, and Mr. Rusiripala, let's not forget that this money, one of the biggest, you know, Arjun Aloysius, great young man, but he had a waiting buyer, EPF. And it is the people's monies that was used mainly to perpetrate this greatest financial scam in the history of our country. Not my words, the words of the Attorney General's Department.
At the bottom of it, who, according to the accepted democratic principles, is responsible for this whole affair? The minister in charge of the subject and of the area of functions involved, both the EPF and the central bank, where the whole thing was perpetrated around, is keeping quiet.
Exactly. Now they're keeping quiet. Now we're talking about keeping quiet. Now Messrs. Samaravikrama and Vikramasinghe, they're not a firm of lawyers. Malik Samaravikrama and Ranil Vikramasinghe, both of them spoke all about this bond, which is, let's call it Bond 1, February 2015. Neither of them, obviously by design, did not speak about what I call Bond 2. The two bonds issued in March 2016. The call was, I think, for 40 billion, and they took up, if I'm not mistaken, 77 billion. And of them, perpetual treasuries received 34% of the one and 31% of the other. Nobody is talking about that. These are not talking, Mr. Samaravikrama and Mr. Vikramasinghe are not, they didn't even mention that. They're just mentioning something that's with the central bank.
You see, unfortunately for us, the bonds are not, the commissions appointed do not have a blank check, you know, to inquire.
No, they had a time limit.
They had a time and a mandate given to them. Despite that, if you see this commission report, they have very clearly and adequately dealt with the two bonds that are disputed by you now, 29th and the 31st of March 2016. They have very clearly dealt with and even analyzed and concluded that there is a huge loss accruing to the country and to the funds, captive funds contained or managed by the government, the extent of which should be determined by application of, you started with this forensic thing, by a forensic audit. Now, in fairness to the commission, even within the limits of their parameters of these mandated parameters, they did comment on the future action that has to be taken. My question is, where the hell is this forensic audit?
Absolutely well said. Absolutely well said. And in all this, and I know that these people are watching, just because I didn't mention it doesn't mean that we've forgotten the gory details, and that is the involvement of Malik Samaravikrama, and don't forget it, Mr. Kabir Hashim, you were the Minister of Highways then, and we know your involvement.
Yeah, we are hearing all kinds of stories for us, investigations.
And I'll tell you what, yesterday, the High Priest in Kandy, Mr. Hashim went there thinking that he's going to be given a cup of tea and sent away with a pat on his back and saying, oh, jolly good show, old chap. And wonderful news, because the monarchist told him off.
3 years have gone.
They have gone. And he said, all the little roads, you're talking about all the big roads, but what about the little roads? Go out there.
He said very specifically, he mentioned something with great respect I would like to reiterate.
Please do.
He's, the respected Mahanayaka said, he was talking, the minister was trying to talk about big plans. He simply said, we don't need any big plans. 3 years have gone. Try to do something. That is all he said.
Talk about being cut to size.
In a nutshell, he said that you have done nothing. Now you are trying to talk. It's a talk shop. It is the meaning. I mean, everybody understands this from top to bottom. What these people, investigations which are initiated, apparently what we hear is, are being stalled. Who is behind this?
Exactly.
Who is behind this? The commission report's findings should have taken effect in the bribery commission, in the Attorney General's department.
And they're doing nothing about it.
In the CID. I don't see anything initiated there. Except the charges that are framed or being framed for a High Court case at the lower court against perpetual treasuries, Aloysius and Kassoon. I mean, nothing else is happening.
And even that is not a result of what the Commission of Inquiry says. That has been initiated.
A complaint made by the governor.
Central Bank.
You are right, absolutely. If not for that complaint, which he was forced to do by the society, by the society, by the media, by the people who are involved, if not for that, even that part would be in abeyance today.
Although this bond report, it's come to an end and so on, and they've given the report. Although that's happened, the central bank, I'm sorry, Governor Kumaraswamy, but you've had enough of time, and they still haven't appointed a firm to look at the forensic, to do the forensic analysis.
That's not where the mistake is for us.
Where is it?
Pardon me. It establishes the fact beyond any doubt that there is no government organization in this country which can act independently. There is political pressure, political influence, there is control, and people are directing things in the way that fashions them, that facilitates them. They are covering up things, they are making the officials to cover up things, they are stopping the officials from taking the necessary actions independently. If this governor was allowed to act independently, just one direction would do. The Parliament of Sri Lanka had discussed this bond report. After the Parliament, it should have been passed on to the governor, okay, go ahead with the action. It should have been passed on to the Attorney General's department, take action. It could have been passed on to the Bribery Commission's department, initiate the action. Did it happen?
All we're getting is excuses. But apart from finance, this country has a rich culture and a rich history. And part of our culture is family values. And I want to say this, Arjuna Mahendran has obviously no honor, nor does R.W. and his clan. Arjuna Mahendran has left his own daughter in a right royal mess. He has misled his son-in-law by not standing and not advising to do the right things, and then runs away like a yellowed, liveried man that he clearly is. You know, he's hiding. He's moved out of this apartment there in Singapore, and he has no better person than the Prime Minister of this country, who says that, like the people of Singapore who are in the habit of moving home, Mr. Mahendran has moved on. Oh my goodness me! You know, he knows Mahendran so well up to that detail, and yet he now claims that he doesn't know. Can he make a statement under oath in front of this whole country that he has not had any contact with the family of Arjuna Mahendran since the Bond Commission?
This is the mockery that we are all experiencing. The mockery that we are experiencing.
But who are they mocking at?
Yes, you see, the people. You see, we don't have to hold anybody in respect or respect anybody who doesn't respect the public opinion and the concerns of the country. Whatever the capacity is, we only should respect. I don't respect you if you don't respect me. If these people have no respect towards the public funds, public the benefits, and if they have had the audacity to rob the public funds, you don't have to respect them.
Absolutely. Now, one of our viewers is saying that they missed what the Manayaka Theros said yesterday. Control room downstairs there. Could you quickly get us the Manayaka cut with Kabir Hashim yesterday? Could you get it on there? And I know it's only got a few minutes, but we owe it to our viewers to play that cut, because it so precisely puts it into right perspective. So please get the cut out.
This is not the first time the Mahanayakas came out openly like this. Even a previous minister was rebuffed like this. You know, he was sent home when he went to talk about the highway that is being constructed. You know, he was given a very good reply. So, I mean, we are happy at certain times the Mahanayakas do come out with correct versions.
We've got one viewer who says, while we're waiting for that cut, one viewer who says, in India, the country is run by the bureaucrats and politicians only do the policy guidelines. In Sri Lanka, politicians do make the policy and run it as well.
No, I have an amendment to that. I said in this country, the politicians don't allow the bureaucracy to run the country.
Right.
It should be amended like that.
It should be. So, Mr. Rusiripala, so forensic analysis, is that the way forward? Well, I mean, the thing is this. Yesterday, we had Maitri Gunratna, who says that this is all excuses. When the Bribery Commission says, look, the law doesn't allow us to use that evidence, Maitri Gunratna says what they have to do is record statements from these people and then proceed to charge them. And it is a crying shame that for some reason or other, the Attorney General's Department has not done that either, Mr. Rusiripala. I am at my wit's end. Why are we wasting our time in the pursuit of good governance and accountability, and these people are not doing their bit?
It all depends on the will and the want of the people who are concerned. You see now, if the Attorney General's Department and the other institutions concerned are having the will to pursue the recommendations made by the Commission, there are hundreds of ways to do it.
Indeed.
At the same time, if you don't want to do it also, there are ways. So which one they are going to use, at whose instigation, at whose instructions, and to satisfy whom is a matter only they know.
Isn't it to satisfy themselves and satisfy their perks and their privileges?
I think it goes beyond. Even they would have a conscience if they are allowed to act freely and independently, might be different applied. But here, when there is so much of pressure, when there is so much...
Are they thinking of their promotions?
They are all, naturally, you know, these are people who don't want to sacrifice their positions. The seat, the position they are holding at the moment, how many
and the future seat.
Yeah, future seats. So this is a very sad state of affairs in this.
So I mean, if you were working in the Attorney General's Department, I suppose one of your prime goals in life would be to end up as the Chief Justice. Because it's the most obvious thing. Right? So perhaps the people who are in there don't want to rock the apple cart, right? Because they want to be the Chief Justice.
Yeah, because the path to becoming a Chief Justice also is very much associated with all these favorations and recommendations, and then you know, the the likeness and the acceptability by the politicians. So therefore, naturally they play. If the path to become a Chief Justice was open, and it's an open-ended thing, where anybody doing the right thing ends up there, and they don't have to think like this. So they are getting adjusted to the situation. What prevails?
Indeed.
What prevails? So you can't blame them.
You can't blame them.
Yeah, you can't blame them.
But that's the system.
That's the system.
But we, the people, must come out without fear and fight that system and chase these people away.
The voice of the people is most important. The people's voice is very much required today.
Yes.
You see, Singapore had beginning, it was the People's Party, PPA. Now, People's Action Party, PAP. Here we must have people's voice, people's action force or front, where people come into action while talking to oust these people who are in bad places.
Isn't it also a good thing, for example, that we have that we have? I think we've got the cut. Right, here we go. This is what happened to Kabir Hashim yesterday.
All of them speak about issues pertaining to roads. Like they are making expressways, the roads leading up to the villages have to be built. We see it on the media, and we ask every day that the roads to be built. Is there no other way? Can't those be built without it being from the same electorate? If a road is to be broken, there needs to be some form of mechanism. There is no point of these officials being here. They have not laid tar on the roads in 25 years. We believe that by the end of the year, we will begin a broad program to renovate the rural roads. There is no need for a broad program. 3 years have lapsed.
The minister also called on the chief prelate of the Askari chapter.
I want to stand up and clap and give the priest there a standing ovation because I don't know, that's not the right thing.
That's not the right
That's not the right thing, is it, Mr.
Yes, no.
But, well done.
Yeah.
Most Reverend Sir.
Yeah. Because
it's brilliant. That's the kind of thing we need.
Yeah.
And the people must come out.
Yeah.
And they must change these people. So we have a problem. Bond 2 needs to be looked at. We need a forensic analysis.
Yeah. And what we have to do is to follow up very carefully the recommendations that have been made and to initiate action without any further delay.
Rusiripala Tennakoon, thank you very much. We'll find out what the hell they're doing, as you put it.
Yes.
All right. On that note, that was Newsline. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you'll tune in again tomorrow morning. In the meantime, take care. God bless.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.